Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Korosh, and today we are in Santa Barbara Design Center. I have a special treat for you. Today we are going to explore the fascinating history of decorative Buddha statues. The man known as Buddha lived in the eastern part of ancient India, sometime between the 4th and 6th centuries BC. Most scholars accept that he lived, taught, and found the monastic order during a Mahajanpandra era during the reign of Bimbisara. This was a time of great enlightenment in the region, and Buddha was known to debate his contemporaries. One of the most common names for Buddha is Siddhartha, Gautama. The times of Gautama's birth and death are uncertain. The evidence of the early texts suggests that Siddhartha Gautama was born into the Shakya clan, a community that was on the periphery, both geographically and culturally, of the eastern India subcontinent in the 5th century BC. It was either a small republic or an oligarchy. His father was an elected chieftain. According to the Buddhist tradition, Gautama was born in Lumbini, now in modern-day Nepal, and raised in the Shakya capital of Kapilvastu, which may have been either in what is present-day Tilarakot, Nepal, or Piprahwa, India. He obtained his enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, gave his first sermon in Sarnath, and died in Kushinagar. No written records about Gautama have been found from his lifetime or some centuries thereafter. In the earliest Buddhist texts, Nikayas and Agamas, the Buddha is not depicted as possessing godlike powers, nor is he depicted as being an eternal, transcendent being. According to Bhikkhu Analayo, ideas of the Buddha's omniscience, along with an increasing tendency to deify him and his biography, are found only later in the Mahayana sutras and later Pali commentaries or texts such as Mahavastu. Traditional biographies of Gautama generally include numerous miracles, omens, and supernatural events. The character of the Buddha in these traditional biographies is often that of a fully transcendent and perfected being who is unencumbered by the mundane world. In modern times, there has been an attempt to form a secular understanding of Siddhartha Gautama's life by omitting the traditional supernatural elements of his early biographies. According to the Mahaparinibbana Sutta of the Pali Canon, at the age of 80, the Buddha announced that he would soon reach parinirvana, or the final deathless state, and abandon his earthly body. Through his teachings, Buddha became a symbol of enlightenment which carries through to this day. Now let's take a look at some examples of the sculptures of Buddha. So today on Design Santa Barbara, I have two special Buddhas to show you, and as we will see, throughout the Silk Road, the Buddhist religion got carried farther east, and these particular ones are from a country called Burma. And they were made for temples. This particular one is an 18th century piece, and they really treasured these. They are quite poor, and they used to bring gold leaf and put it on the Buddhas that they were in the temples and monasteries and honor them. This particular one has a beautiful patina. You can see over 250 years, 300 years. It has got some beautiful sheen to it, although not much of the gold is left in it, but is absolutely beautiful. Decades ago, people used to go to temples and just tear them apart and go sell them in the Western markets. Glad that has stopped, and there is laws in the country that you cannot do that. If they catch you, there's big penalties. This particular one has been here for a while and is beautiful. You can see the serene face, the enlightened sitting position. I like this. This particular one is however, slightly older, and the patina on it is just incredible. It has little, if you can see, tiny little precious metals and golds in it, gold patina, and little jewelry. And these things are uncommon. They're not very common to be seen. This particular one, I would say, is over 300 years old. It's beautiful. It's all the elements you want to have in home furnishing, and quite beautiful. When we come back, we will be looking at some examples of Buddha statues from elsewhere in the world. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. There is more Design Santa Barbara after the break. On this edition of Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about mid-century modern furniture. Mid-century modern is described as the period between 1933 and 1965, in which designers such as Eames and Nakashima used clean lines and futuristic materials to propel design into a post-war era. At Santa Barbara Design Center, you can see and feel a variety of mid-century inspired furniture, including our signature leather chairs and recliners with classical wood frames. Accent them with side tables, daybeds, ottomans for a slick, artistic look. Customize these pieces to fit your home perfectly. To bring mid-century modern style to your home, please visit us at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street.
Welcome to Rugs & More. We provide the West Coast with the most comprehensive collection of new, oriental, and antique rugs. Rugs are solid art investments and often become cherished family treasures. Our limitless inventory will warm up your home. Exotic or traditional, tribal or modern, our rugs weave stories through intricate patterns, compelling colors, and touchable materials. #1 in Santa Barbara for over 20 years. Visit us today at Rugs & More, 410 Olive Street in Santa Barbara.
This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about rug cleaning and restoration. A fine rug is a family treasure often passed on from generation to generation. Rugs need to be properly taken care of to ensure their survival and protect your investment. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we are the foremost experts in professional cleaning, repairing, and preserving your rugs. Rugs should be hand washed every 3 to 5 years to maintain a structure. When was the last time you washed your rugs? Proper cleaning can extend the longevity of your rug, whereas steam cleaning can damage it. Restorations by Rugs & More include hand stitching, fixing fringes and sides, and reviving worn pile. For the finest restoration and cleaning, bring your rugs into Rugs & More at Santa Barbara Design Center today, 410 Olive Street. Today on Michael's Minute, I'm gonna talk about what makes a good sofa versus a great sofa. This one is called Malibu and this is called Malibu 2.0. What makes a difference is for the Malibu, we use industry standard wrap, which is a polyester. For the 2.0, we use a blend of angel hair, which is a synthetic down, and down itself. On top of that, we use 2 different fabrics for them. For the regular Malibu, we use 100% polyester fabric, which is very long lasting and has 30,000 double rub, which is very durable. For the 2.0, we use the highest quality linen in the market. I would like to invite you to come and see these in person. Come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. This week we are in Santa Barbara Design Center looking at the fascinating history of decorative Buddha statues. An extensive and colorful physical description of the Buddha has been laid down in the scriptures. A Kshatriya by birth, he had military training in his upbringing, and by Shakyan tradition was required to pass tests to demonstrate his worthiness as a warrior in order to marry. He had a strong enough body to be noticed by one of the kings and was asked to join his army as a general. He is also believed by Buddhists to have 32 signs of the great man, one of which being blue eyes. The Brahmin Sanandana described him as handsome, good-looking, and pleasing to the eye, with a most beautiful complexion. He has a godlike form and countenance. He is by no means unattractive. After his death, it is believed that Buddha's cremated remains were divided and sent to 84,000 locations as honored relics. To this day, there are Buddha relics all over the world, even some in the United States. As time progressed, Buddha's teachings expanded beyond Eastern India. His influence spread across the Asian continent and touched millions. Now let's look at some decorative Buddha statues from a completely different part of the world as our last group. On this segment, we have two Buddhas from southern part of China. They are different than the last ones. As you had seen, those were Burmese Buddhas. They had gildings on them. These don't. They were meant for a special place in a temple, and they were set, as you had seen, they have bases that they were to be set on that special location. These were not. They were made to be moved around, or they just were later addition to a temple. They're quite old. This particular one, I would say between 100 to 150 years old, and this one definitely over 200 years old. You can see from the patina, this particular one has beautiful colors. As you can imagine, these 100, 200, 300 years ago, they used to have beautiful, bright colors. This one has some green in the head, has some blues, has some reds in the clothing. They are slightly more from humble, I want to say, origins. The other ones were made for wealthier temples. These probably not, but nonetheless they're very artistic. The features on the face, they are very dominant and very pleasing, very relaxing. As you know, this episode is about Buddha's importance in today's interiors. A lot of interior designers are using them to bring not only a beautiful statue and a beautiful piece of art to any room, but also it's very pleasing, very relaxing. And nowadays, with the ever-growing Buddhist population and Buddhist beliefs in our nation, more and more Buddhas have been used. I like this particular one because of its serenity. The face is white, the colors are nice, and on a in a niche, it will look very pleasing. This particular one is older, and the face is so beautifully carved. You can see, you know, this is all strokes of little chisel, and is in great condition for his age. Had some green, as you can see, also colors and reds here, but is worn off a little more. After this break, we will be looking at similarities and differences of decorative Buddhas from different scale point. Stay tuned. There are more Design Santa Barbara coming up soon. On today's Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about window coverings and treatments. Here's our specialist, Kara. Kara, would you kindly please tell us about the window treatment?
Absolutely. Here at the Santa Barbara Design Center, we do both hard and soft window coverings. These are our Norman shutters. And what you can do is you could partner these with our treatments. I've also seen some other of our clients partner with something a little bit more shimmery. Aside from the hard treatments, we do designer window treatments, and they come in an array of different colors. The big suggestion I have is don't be afraid of color and keep your finials and your rods very simple.
Well, thank you very much, Kara. I appreciate it. To see thousands of different window coverings, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Oliver Street. Today on Michael's Minute, I want to talk to you about transitional rugs. Although still majority of rugs we sell, they are traditional and classical rugs, but nowadays more and more designers and the projects they have requires transitional and modern carpet. On this side, we have a very beautifully handmade rug that has classical designs from Ziegler and Company, Sultanabad. On this side, we have an Uşak design. Uşak is a town in Turkey that originally made classical Turkish designs from 1,000 years to today. They're still making them. This particular one has a classical design, but has all the colors of today's interior. So it's beige with a little bit of eggplant color and gray in it. To see thousands of transitional, modern, and classical rugs, come to Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive.
Welcome to Rugs and More. We provide the West Coast with the most comprehensive collection of new Oriental and antique rugs. Rugs are solid art investments and often become cherished family treasures. Our limitless inventory will warm up your home. Exotic or traditional, tribal or modern, our rugs weave stories through intricate patterns, compelling colors, and touchable materials. #1 in Santa Barbara for over 20 years. Visit us today at Rugs and More, 410 Olive Street in Santa Barbara.
This week on Michael's Minute, we are going to talk about rug cleaning and restoration. A fine rug is a family treasure often passed on from generation to generation. Rugs need to be properly taken care of to ensure their survival and protect your investment. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we are the foremost experts in professional cleaning, repairing, and preserving your rugs. Rugs should be hand washed every 3 to 5 years to maintain a structure. When was the last time you washed your rugs? Proper cleaning can extend the longevity of your rug, whereas steam cleaning can damage it. Restorations by Rugs and More include hand stitching, fixing fringes and sides, and reviving worn pile. For the finest restoration and cleaning, bring your rugs into Rugs and More at Santa Barbara Design Center today, 410 Olive Street. Today on Michael's Minute, I would like to talk to you about fabrics. Fabrics are quite essential items for your upholstery and window covering, and we have a huge selection of them. We have Durally fabrics, Fabricot, my favorite Cravat, we have our own house fabrics, and we have Ralph Lauren. For indoor-outdoor use, we have many different fabrics, and I would highly recommend you to come to Santa Barbara Design Center to see the largest selection of fabrics in town. Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive. In this edition of Michael's Minutes, let's talk about sofas, be it classical, transitional, or modern. The style you choose should be based on your personal preference. Once you have a style, selecting the right size and shape for your space is critical. We offer love seats, sofas, sectionals, and sectionals with a return. The next step is selecting the right fabric for your lifestyle. You can choose from casual to durable, even washable. Last but not least comes the comfort of your sofa. We carry many materials like high-density foam that you can cover in polyester, down, or premium angel hair for maximum comfort and support. I invite you to come to Santa Barbara Design Center at 410 Olive Street and select your dream sofa. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. This week we are in Santa Barbara Design Center examining the fascinating history of decorative Buddha statues. We have already looked at the similarities and differences of Buddhas from two distinctive locations. Soon we will look at a third, but first let's talk about Buddha in art. From the time after his death to the 1st century AD, Buddha was depicted as a man with many artistic representations focusing on his living acts. By the 2nd century AD, there was a shift toward Buddha as an icon. As seen in northern Indian, Pakistani, and Chinese Buddhas, the representation became more anthropomorphic. Rather than showing stories or impressions of Buddha with others, the focus was made on just Buddha himself. It is interesting to note that Buddha is an extensively used subject in arts such as sculpture, paintings, and literature, but not in music and dance. With the establishment of the Silk Road, the teachings of Buddha expanded to Japan, the Korean Peninsula, and further. Interactions with the West also allowed artists to adopt Greek styles of presenting the Buddha. The Indo-Greek Buddhas are an incredible example of the fusion of two cultures in one work of art. Now let's examine some more Buddhas from my personal collection. We have these two impressive Buddhas in a scale that usually you don't see. Usually they're smaller. These are very big, and the reason is probably was made for an important monastery or a temple. You can imagine having these as nowadays as decorative objects, but they will make any house into a sanctuary immediately. And they are made of solid wood, and they have had a lot of colors on them. As you can see, just remnants of it left. They had some greens, some reds, some blues, and they are in the meditation pose, and they are quite beautiful. They are different than the ones we saw in the last two segments. They don't have any gildings on these, and they are a whole lot bigger and more important than the ones we saw so far. They are between 300 to 400 years old. You can see a lot of cracks in them. You can see a lot of old patina on them. The cracks and patina guides you to the age of them. They're quite unique. I have not seen too many pairs of them. During the Chinese Revolution, Maoists burned a lot of them, and there is very few surviving that period. Quite impressive and unique. They will make a great objects of the art in any collection or any home for that matter. Hope you have enjoyed this look in the history, impact, and beauty of the mysterious man known as Buddha. If you wish to see any of the Buddhas shown in today's episode, come to Santa Barbara Design Center. Today on Appraisals, we have few textiles from Native American weavings. So a lot of people say Navajo weavings is correct. They say American Indian weavings is correct, but not entirely. So first of all, they're Native Americans and they're not Indians, so that's one thing. Secondary is the Navajo is one of the largest tribes, but it's not the only tribe that did weavings. So for instance, this is a yei, and these are dancers, and they're yei dancers, and they're very decorative, very pretty, and you know, just about every collector would like to have one or two of them. This particular one is not very old. It's probably like 1970s. This is a small format. It's very fine weave, and the wool seems to be hand spun. This piece in a fair market value would sell between $500 to $600. Next, we have a 2 Gray Hill. And this particular example is a very unusual design. It's a storm design and goes the vertical length. And it is woven around 1940s, 1950s. It's pretty good shape, has a very soft and supple wool. Fair market value on that is between $1,000 to $1,500. Now we get to a little bit better and a little bit older pieces. The next one we have out here is this second phase chief blanket. And chief blankets are very desirable. First ever made for the chiefs because wool was precious and they didn't do that many weavings. This particular one, woven probably around 1900s. It is in mint condition, again natural dyes, hand spun wool, very beautiful, very decorative. Fair market value between $10,000 to $15,000. And now we come to the cream of the crop, and this is a Hopi chief blanket. If you get to touch it, you will see the wool is completely different. It's hand spun, it's very soft, almost like you get a hair from a rabbit. It is indigo dyed wool with some natural brown and again some natural beige. Woven around 1840s, 1850s. They're very rare. You don't see them in the market. Only museums and high-end collectors carry these. And if this piece would come to an auction, I would expect somewhere, depending who's sitting in the auction, will bring between $40,000 to $70,000. This is today's appraisal for American Indian Weavings. Looking forward to see you next week.